All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakah Kodash. Second of all, I want to give double honors to my elders and apostles of Great Millstone, Elder Tahar, and on down that rule well. And third of all, I want to give a peace and safety to the hopeful elect out there, the brothers that push this truth, the truth of the King James Bible, and all truth and sincerity, Salakia, and all truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the globe. All right, so I was going to do a short and transit lesson on how alone the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai allows it to go. I don't want to name the video, an update on the beast hitting the whore. All right. And Lord Will's brothers can see on the screen, I have this article here from the RT News. I'm not going to read the whole article, but it says the EU, which is the European Union, all right, needs own nukes. All right, so continue on reading. It says NATO cannot depend on the U.S., which NATO and the EU, the NATO and the EU is the beast with 7 heads and 10 horns that the Book of Revelation speaks about. All right. The Northern Atlantic Treaty Organization and the EU, the European Union, that's what, when the Book of Revelation speaks about the beast with 7 heads and 10 horns, that's what it's speaking about. All right. So it says, and Babylon the Great, which is America, is the whore that rideth upon the beast. And America, or Babylon the Great, is a part of NATO, but ultimately, the Most High is going to do something to make them different NATO and EU nations turn their back on Babylon the Great, their own ally, and shoot missiles on, nuclear missiles on it. All right, according to the truth, according to biblical prophecy, which is the truth. All right, NATO cannot depend on the U.S. protection forever. A prominent member of the Chancellor, I'm not going to try to pronounce that word, party has said. It says the U.S. allies in Europe should not have to keep relying on Washington for a nuke. For nuclear deterioration, Salakia. The German ruling party top candidate for the upcoming European Parliament election said on Tuesday. All right, so basically what they're saying, like the article clearly said, it says, look, we shouldn't have to depend on America anymore for nukes. All right, basically for protection. All right, and I remember a while back, Vladimir Putin said that when they was talking to Angela Merkel. Yeah, him and Angela Merkel had met, and a bunch of other devils had met. And Vladimir Putin told Germany, the German Chancellor at that time, Angela Merkel, I believe it was, that look, you don't have to depend on the U.S. for protection or help. You can ally with us. You can ally with Russia. All right, because the Most High is always gonna continue to keep that animosity between Russia and Babylon the Great going on. But they're the two nations, the two Edomite nations that are going to lock horns, and also other nations as well on the side of Russia are all going to lock horns and shoot missiles on America. All right, and that's the Lord put hooks in Maggog's mouth and turning them back, keeping that animosity between them going on. Like now, it's the whole situation with Ukraine. All right, and them different EU and them European and NATO nations. All right, it's supposed to be on Babylon's side, on America's side, putting sanctions on them, so on and so forth. But it just came out, which I did a video on that the other day. One of the leaders or prime ministers or whatever, Russia, came out and said that, look, Europe's still buying gas and stuff from us. They're still basically buying energy from us, like under the table. All right, so they're still doing business with Russia. All right, and that's going to continue to create problems within the beast, more division. All right. And ultimately, it's going to cause the house of Esau to go down. But they all should be on the same team. Like NATO and the EU and Babylon and Russia, they should all be on the same side. But the Most High, that's why the Lord Yahweh Shah said, spoke about division. Because that division is going to lead them to destruction. Like in the world, it says, united we stand, divided we fall. All right? And they're going to fall because there's too much division between them. And this is just creating more division. All right, now they're saying, look, we don't need America's help anymore. We shouldn't depend on America for protection anymore. All right, and it really all started, well, I'm pretty sure things have been going on behind the scenes, but when Trump got in office, because Trump kept, which the article is going to mention that, Trump repeatedly kept calling out NATO and the EU, the different NATO and EU nations, saying that basically we should get out of NATO. It's worthless. They're not paying their fair share. All right, and now like this woman is saying, like, look, and probably they're going to put Trump back in there And that may be what the Most High does. Slack it for the rant, but that may be what the Most High does. You know, well, one way the Most High could continue to stir it up, Trump, just keep talking shit, and keep doing deals to hurt them different NATO and EU nations, all right? And that could cause them to come up against each other. You know, there's a lot of wild cards, you know, out there, but that could be one way the Lord does it. You know, Trump could lead it, could do something drastic that made them NATO and EU nations come up against each other. But let me keep reading. Slack it for the rant there. It says, Katrina Barley, if I pronounced that right, the leading MEP from the Chancellor, Al-Far, I'm not going to try to pronounce that either. It says Social Democratic Party was asked to comment on the recent remarks by U.S. President hopeful Donald Trump that Washington should not defend NATO's allies who failed to meet their payment targets, right? So, again, when Trump first came in office, that's one of the things he kept harping on. Like, look, we're spending all this money, giving all this money to them, and they ain't reciprocating the energy, however you say it. All right, the energy. We're giving all this money, we're doing all this for them, but they ain't making payments. They ain't doing what they're supposed to be doing. So we should just pull out of NATO and save ourselves some change. All right. And now they're taking heed to that, because more than likely they are going to put Trump back in there. It's supposed to be Michelle Obama supposed to get in too, but you know who knows? It don't matter. Either way, the will of the Lord is going to be done. But now they're looking at that Trump's going to be the president, and he's still going to be running his mouth and talking shit and probably doing stuff to further himself, distance himself from NATO and the EU. So they're saying, look, we might as well just get our own nukes, buy nukes from Russia maybe. All right, because Russia has a lot of nukes. Pretty sure Bella saw that interview with that devil Tucker Carlson and Vladimir Putin that they did. He was basically boasting, and you can look it up, Russia having a great number of nuclear weapons and all type of weapons. Maybe they could go to them to buy weapons, all right, and get weapons, or depend on them for protection, like Putin told them a while ago. All right. I'm gonna read this. It says, in the view of Donald Trump's recent statements, we can no longer rely on the U.S. Providing European NATO members with its nuclear umbrella. Barley told the German Daily, and that's the Wiseman out of Edom, Teeman, all right, Daily, and I'll try to pronounce that. A European bomb could become a step on the way to the European army, she added. All right, so clear as day, you know, more animosity or more division amongst the whore and the beast. The whore again being American, the beast is being the different NATO and EU nations. All right, NATO and EU nations. All right, so now they're saying, look, we got to get our own weapons. We can't depend on America anymore. We're done depending on America. All right, and this is the build-up of the beast hating the whore and ultimately making her desolate. All right, so let's open up with this. What the Lord Yahweh Shah said. Favor the word, Salaki, brothers. Here we go. All right, this St. Matthew chapter 12. St. Matthew chapter 12, verse 25. And Yahweh Shah knew their thoughts and said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation. All right, the kingdom of Edom. All right, is brought to desolation. And every city or house, the house of Edom, divided against itself shall not stand. Right, it shall not stand. All right, so the house of Edom or the rulership of Edom is not going to stand. Why? Because there's too much division amongst them. Way too much division amongst them, which is ultimately going to lead to their destruction, because they should be all on the same page, but it's all heavy division amongst them. And the reason for that is prophecies got to be fulfilled. All right, just real quick, this Daniel chapter 2, the book of Daniel chapter 2 verse Daniel chapter 2 verse, I'm gonna start at verse 40. And the fourth kingdom shall be as strong for as much as thou shalt iron breaketh in pieces, and subdue all things as iron that breaketh all these shall it break in pieces and bruise, which that was the ancient pagan Roman Empire. And whereas thou sawest the feet and the toes, part of pottery clay and part of iron, which that's the system that we're in right now, the kingdom should be divided, right? The kingdom should be divided, and that division is going to continue until ultimately they destroy each other, or until America is destroyed. But there should be in it for strength of iron, for as much as thou sawest iron mixed with moderate clay. And right, like the elders have said before, iron and clay. Iron would be the stronger NATO nations, like Germany. Germany would be one of the stronger ones. That's why they can say that. All right. But a weaker one would be like Greece. I think Greece is like a lower one. I think they're like one of the most brokest countries in the NATO and the EU. Greece and what's another one? Maybe like what's another one? Yeah, we just use Greece because I know Greece is down there. You know, they're weak, and that shows the power of the Most High. Greece was the Grecians, or the Greece was at one point the most powerful nation on the planet. At one point, started with their ruling devil Alexander the Greek. All right, at one point they was the strongest, but now look, they're one of the weaker ones now. All right, so yeah, they would be one of the weaker ones that need Babylon's protection. But now they're all saying, look, we can just come together or maybe buy nukes from some other country, all right, and protect ourselves, because we can't depend on America anymore. All right, and the toes and feet were part of iron. Then plus, you know, they're giving weapons to Amalek, to them other Edomites in Eastern Europe. All right, the Ukrainians or whatever. They're giving them weapons. You know, they're going to have to protect Taiwan when China goes in there. All right, so they're not going to be able to keep up with all of that, man. Protecting all these countries. So they're like, look, we got to protect ourselves, man. We got to look out for ourselves. And they're also giving them weapons, them different NATO and different European nations, which I believe they're going to pull out and stop doing that soon, because they've done it. You know, in certain cases they've already stopped. Some of them have already stopped. All right, but it says of toes, so like your and moderate clay, verse 42, and the toes and the feet were part of iron and part of clay, so the kingdom should be partly strong and partly broken. Right, and it's partly strong and partly broken. It's breaking up. The Most High is breaking it up, bringing all this animosity between them. You know, rather it's money or whatever, some other deal. You know, this heavy division amongst themselves. All right, and that's going to lead to their destruction. So I'm gonna close with this one. This Revelation chapter 17. So I can get 10. Revelation chapter 17. Verse 16, and the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore. Again, the beast being NATO and the EU, and the whore being America. All right, so like it, the whore, it shall make her desolate and naked. It shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. For Yahweh hath put in their hearts to fulfill his will, and agreed to give his kingdom unto the beast, until the words of Yahweh should be fulfilled. Right, so the Lord's going to do something to make them come up against each other. All right, and we're seeing the beginning phases of that, arguing about money, arguing about, you know, this, they ain't paying their fair share, or, you know, whatever. All right, just heavy division, which they're all supposed to be on the same page. But again, that's prophecy. And ultimately, again, all them nations are going to come up against each other. I mean, them nations are going to gather together and destroy Babylon the Great. All right. This is Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 14. This is the last one. Put yourselves in array against Babylon round about, all ye that bend the bow. Shoot at her, spare no arrow. What's the arrow? The nuclear missiles. And them different NATO and EU countries have the nuclear weapons. They're not going to spare arrow. They're going to fire all their arrows on this place and wipe it out. Spare no arrow, for she have sinned against the Lord. Right? The Lord said, spare no arrow, for she has sinned against the Lord. So these nations are going to shoot everything they got on this place. All right, or a great number of missiles on this place. And the scriptures also say, archers bend not bow and shoot at her, and spare no arrow. The archer is someone that shoots the arrow. So them be these nations that have the nuclear weapons. All right, so basically, to sum it up in a nutshell, this place is done, man. All right, America's done. Too much division, too much debt, too much everything that's bad for you is going on in this world right now for Esau. So Esau is done, man. He knows it. All right, and also I just saw that Israel just attacked Yemen, and also I was watching Elder Malcolm the video he did that said that the elder did that Israel or Russia or something, they're blaming an attack. They're blaming something that happened to Israel. They're blaming it on Russia. An attack that happened on Israel they're blaming it on Russia, on the small hats. Even though Russia had said they had nothing to do with it. But we know how they get down. They'll do something and blame it on them, blame it on somebody else. All right, so that's doing nothing but further continuing the wars and rumors of wars, like Elder Malcolm's video's name. So with that, I pray this lesson was edifying. This transit lesson was edifying. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakak Wadash, double honors to my elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and safety to you brothers that push this truth and sincerity. And with that, I'm going to say shalom.